One of the comments that is most requested or most made on my channel is, how do I make black cherry syrup? How do I make melon syrup? How do I make this candy syrup? How do I make these? It's actually incredibly simple to make these at home. So I'm gonna teach you all my different methods, depending on how much work you wanna do, how lazy you are, if you wanna add food dye, if you wanna go above and beyond like me. So let's make the first syrup, and all we're gonna do is cut up some fruit, cover it in cane sugar, and boom, simple syrup. So I'm getting ready to film literally, I think, over 100 cocktails and mocktails this coming weekend. Therefore, I need a ton of syrup. And I'm gonna start off with this dragon fruit syrup. We're gonna use this in my Noble Pursuit drink that I'm remaking for the 3rd or 4th time. And this is gonna be the best recipe ever, as it always is. So what you need to do, if you wanna make your own dragon fruit syrup at home, is 1, find a dragon fruit. But then, we're gonna slice and dice one of these bad boys. That core is very hard. If you've never had dragon fruit, the flavor actually is a little bit boring. It essentially just tastes like watermelon, but with a lot less flavor, believe it or not. And so what you do when you're cutting these up is you don't actually really need to even slice and dice them and worry about peeling them and everything, because, as I'll show you in a second here. All right, so check it out. Once you cut your dragon fruit, quarter it, whatever, you can just peel the skin right off. It's actually super simple. And like I said, pretty much just tastes like a watermelon. I think I've come to liking dragon fruit more, probably just because it's more expensive and I feel like I should like it more. A whole dragon fruit's like $6. It's not really worth it, but for making a syrup, it's gonna last a long time. So in my opinion, that's probably the only time you should buy dragon fruit. So our next step for making this dragon fruit simple syrup is simply to peel all of our slices. And now we're gonna dice them and toss them in here. Oh, that's disappointing. They're really slippery. Now we'll just toss in all of our little slices of dragon fruit. Now that our dragon fruit's in the container, we are going to cover it in cane sugar. I don't really have an exact amount for this, but the cane sugar is gonna break down the fruit slowly day by day, and then you're gonna be left over with the syrup. To kind of help speed things along, I am gonna muddle up the fruit just a little bit, just to work that sugar in there, make it a little bit easier to break down, get more of the flavors into the syrup, into the sugar. It's gonna be delicious. When it's ready to go in the fridge, it should look something like that. A little bit of a dragon fruit sludge covered in syrup. All we have to do now is leave this in the fridge for a couple days. I do no more than 5. I mean, you're usually good with 3, but anywhere in that 3 to 5 day range, strain it out, boom, dragon fruit simple syrup. It really is that simple. If you wanna go over the top like I tend to do, it's very easy to just add a little bit of food coloring and boom, you have a bright pink, bright white, whatever color of simple syrup that you wanted. And it doesn't feel like you're just adding food dye to your cocktails, even though it's kind of what you're doing. It's a very interesting game. I love making colorful cocktails, but I don't like putting food dye in them. I like dyeing my syrups and then adding color that way. So cheat the game, call it whatever you want, but that is the first way to make simple syrup. Method number 1 for simple syrup is in the books. Now I'm gonna show you method number 2, which is probably the strangest method of creating simple syrup that's on the entire internet. I don't know anybody who does it this way besides me. I don't even know where I got the idea from it, but here we go. All you're gonna need is a can of soda and, you know, a little bit of patience. So come on, check it out. This is the perfect opportunity to show off my brand new beverage cooler that I was sent from Yigo. Now the reason I'm getting into this is because you're gonna need some Mountain Dew. Guys, I have Mountain Dew. A lot of it. Check this out. This cooler fits over 100 cans into it. And I have just about every flavor of Mountain Dew in here. I have their Baja Blast, Thrashed Apple, Point Break Punch, Code Red, Zero Sugar. I got some Laguna Lemonade back there. I have so much Mountain Dew, it's insane. But just for this video, we're gonna wanna grab our Mountain Dew Baja Blast, and we're gonna wanna grab the Zero one, trust me on that. So if you guys are looking for a new cooler, by the way, I highly, highly recommend checking out Yigo. This cooler is amazing. Like I said, it fits over 100 cans in it. It keeps it so chill in there. It's adjustable all the way down to almost 32 degrees. I just can't think of any better way to store all of my drinks, all my energy drinks, and all my liquor. It's amazing, check it out. But moving past the cooler, let's make this syrup. It's actually extremely simple. Check it out. Here's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna head to my kitchen. So what we're gonna need to do here is crack open a little bit of Baja Blast. We're gonna pour the entire thing out. Now we microwave. We don't want to bring it to a boiling point, but we want this to get warm enough to dissolve sugar. So let's pop it in here for about 1.5 minutes. That is hot Mountain Dew. It's actually not that bad. Weird. Anyway, so now that we have our hot Mountain Dew, we are going to throw, I don't really measure this, guys. I don't think weighing out your sugar is really worth it. If you want your drinks sweeter, add more sugar. If you don't want them as sweet, add less sugar. It really comes down to that. I also highly recommend, this is the perfect opportunity to use a fake sugar like stevia and just throw that in there. It'll dissolve, it'll be a sweetener, but it's not sugar, so you're not worried about that diabetes getting you, something like that. A lot healthier. And if you're drinking my drinks, I highly recommend it. But nevertheless, we're gonna throw in some sugar here. Now we're gonna cover that sugar with hot Baja Blast. Not a bad idea because it's carbonated, but I'm gonna shake it. Now we just give that a little shake. Make sure our sugar dissolves. There you have it, guys. This just needs to chill and you have your very own Baja Blast syrup. Well guys, while I have you over here, I might as well teach you method number 3 since method number 2 is finished with. I have a couple of Faygo cotton candies. These expired about 2 weeks ago. Doesn't mean they're bad flavor-wise, but they are losing carbonation. They're not gonna be as good. They're like $1 at the Dollar Tree. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make simple syrup with them. Obviously, that's why you're watching the video. So for this one, it's actually debatably easier than the last one, and the last one was already easy. So we're gonna pour out our cotton candy Faygo, which by the way, if you don't like Faygo, I'm gonna say something crazy. Faygo might be the best soda out there. The best. That's about all the cotton candy syrup we need. We'll save that. We wanna bring this to a boil and really hope it doesn't explode. Crazy things can happen. I don't wanna stand too close to this, but I guess I should tell you guys why I'm just watching this on the stove. So what we wanna do, we have our soda, right? Poured it all out. Now we wanna bring this to a boil. Once it's boiling, we're gonna let this simmer for about 20 minutes or until it's reduced by half. And guess what we're gonna have, guys? Cotton candy syrup. So let's do the little thing. Let's do the process here. I know, Barney, I know. All right, now that our soda is boiling, we can go ahead and set a timer for 20 minutes, but what you can also do, because the whole goal here is to reduce the soda by half. So I have my handy dandy little brown spoon. You remember where it's at? Once it's reduced by half, you have a very good consistency for syrup. And because this is already a sugar-filled syrup, we don't need to add more sugar. If you're impatient, like I often am, you could just add a cup of sugar here, give it a little stir before it reduces, call it a day. Essentially what we just did with the Baja Blast syrup. But because this is already a very sugary soda, let's reduce this to a simmer and reduce it by half. All right, time for method number 4. All right, we are on to the 4th and final method. This one is debatably the easiest, not the fastest, but the weirdest by far. Somehow weirder than the methods I've already showed you. So what I need is a syrup that tastes just like candy. So here's what you can do, guys. This is frowned upon by some people for sure. But what we can do, I grabbed plenty of Swedish fish. They were on sale. So we are going to make Swedish fish syrup. So depending on how strong you want the flavor, but in addition to that, how sweet you want your syrup, just load this up with Swedish fish. All right, now come on guys, we're going back to the kitchen. I love it over there. Now we're simply going to cover our Swedish fish in water. Again, this is about an eyeball test. You want about equal parts Swedish fish to sugar, maybe a little bit less so it's not overwhelmingly sweet, but hey, if you want the diabetes, you can have it. No one's gonna stop you, not me. In fact, I'll encourage it. So we have our jar of Swedish fish and water. That's not a syrup, right? How is that a syrup? Buckle up, guys. Check this out. Oh man, toss it in your dishwasher and just give it a nice rinse. And I swear on my life, that is the best way to make candy infused simple syrup. You can do that with anything. You know my favorite sour blue raspberry syrup that I've been using in just about every video? I just threw some Sour Patch Kids in water and I have sour blue raspberry syrup, just like that. All right, so method number 4 is done. Let's head back to the bar. All right, there it is, guys. All 4 methods of mine are in the books. They're wild, they're fun, they're actually all incredibly easy. I hope people finally quit asking me what Red Bull syrup is, because it's just like that. You just reduce it on the stove. Extremely easy to make. If you're still wondering, because I know another popular one that I make all the time is black cherry syrup. All you have to do is get ripened cherries, same method as the dragon fruit, coat them in sugar, leave them for a couple days, and you're gonna have your own black cherry syrup. Honeydew, any flavor, guys. This is your one-stop shop. You don't have to ask a question about syrups ever again. So there it is, guys. I hope you learned everything possible and you make your own amazing simple syrups. Please comment and tell me what flavor of simple syrup you're gonna make at home, if you're gonna make any at all, and if you found anything useful, let me know. See you guys next time.